Hey darlings, hope you're good. Can I tell you something that we sometimes don't talk about or no one talks about? Is that building a relationship with yourself is beautiful, but it also comes with a lot of hurt. Yes, it does. Because for the first time, you are sitting with parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. You know, the rejection, the disappointment, the people pleasing, and the abandonment, the mistake you never forgave yourself for. All of these things, they come back and you have to deal with them, because when you're building a relationship with yourself, you have to now be honest with yourself. I think I mentioned that on the previous video. And so, what you have to understand is that healing yourself isn't about just becoming a better version of yourself or becoming a better person, but it is about grieving the version of you that you survived by staying in silent. And life is not about surviving, life is about living. And so when you build a relationship with yourself, you are giving yourself an opportunity to address or face all of the things that you've been avoiding. So building that relationship, it's more like being on a self-discovery journey, and you don't have to be surprised if you cry more as you reflect more and spend more time alone, because when you're on this journey, you get to realize that other spaces are no longer serving you and other people are no longer serving you. And that comes with a lot of loneliness, and that comes with a lot of hurt, because at times you get to see the real reason why you had so many people in your life or so many places that you were going to, and you get to understand that all those places are not serving you, or you don't necessarily belong in those places. So in order for you to move forward instead of moving backwards, you need to face everything that you've been avoiding head on, because that is the best place to start in order for you to become a better version of yourself. So how do you do that? Because it doesn't help for you to say that you want to build a relationship with yourself, but you're walking blindly into this relationship that you're building. So because it does get lonely, so you'll need certain tools that will help you make this relationship better and make it easy. And first and foremost, one of the few things that you can do, you just must learn journaling. You must start journaling. I know it's not easy to journal. Sometimes you don't even know what to write on the journal. And if there's one thing that you must remember, is that journaling is not like writing on your diary, dear diary, today was a beautiful day. No, you have to be intentional about what you are writing there. You need to ask yourself, what are you feeling at that particular moment, and where did this feeling come from, or where did it begin, when did it begin? And those are the things that will help you open up your mind and start thinking about the responses that you gave to people, how you reacted, how you received certain news, and why you did whatever that you did, or why you responded in a certain way or reacted in a certain way. That only happens if you understand how you are feeling and where you are and where that feeling came from. The second thing is that you need to learn to name your emotions. If you are angry, you need to admit that you are angry. If you are hurt, you need to admit that you're hurt. If you're happy, you need to admit that you're happy. You need to express it, because you must remember that you cannot heal from what you refuse to acknowledge. And that's why we have a few challenges with a lot of people, where those people, they are in survival mode. With them, everything is just okay, because they don't want to name their emotions. They don't want to show that they're disappointed or hurt, because they need to always show up as these happy, bubbly people. But if you are disappointed or if you are hurt, it is okay for you to name your emotions and admit and acknowledge that you are breaking right now. As the young people will say, that you are crashing. It is very important that you admit certain things. And whilst you are doing that, the third point is that you need to practice self-compassion. You need to have compassion for yourself. Not that you are the only one that is always being compassionate with other people, but you need to speak to yourself with kindness. You will need to speak to yourself the way you speak to other people, because it's very easy to show kindness and care and be gentle to other people, but in return we become so hard on ourselves. So that is one of the few things that we need to learn, is to have compassion for ourselves and speak to ourselves like the people that we love and care about. Last and not least, one thing that works for me is to pray and surrender. Some of the things you cannot do them by yourself. You need to invite God into that painful area of your life, because some of the burdens are not for us to carry, but you need to give them to God. So learn to speak to God and learn to trust God to help you in this journey of building a relationship with yourself, because it is not easy. It can be painful, and at times you will feel like you need an embrace. And if you trust God and invite God, you will feel that embrace. So we can continue with this conversation. If you need to learn more about how to build a relationship with yourself, you can slide into my DMs and we can just chat further. But right now, I want to tell you that I love you, but you have to love yourself more. Take care.